setting are when salespeople handle the phone. So as the agenda says, we're going to focus on pages 24 and 25, which are our sales activities. And in addition, we've asked our meeting chairperson to give a 10 to 15 minute presentation and highlight how his BDC handles the lead flow and conversion. One of the reasons I asked Scott, and many of you have heard me say, and I told Scott, and he was somewhat in disbelief, I see tons of BDC numbers every day. I've got them all over the country, all walks of life, primarily franchise stores. Yes,
great. He needs the code for the internet.
Oh,
turn that page
sure.
on?
And so, in any case, as I told some of you, Scott Elder his team has the best BDC numbers I have seen anywhere, maybe ever. So, I've asked Scott to give a 10 to 15 minute presentation on why or how he works is. I think for some of you, you're going to find out it's not much differently than the way you have, at least 90% of it. A lot of it comes down to people and how Andrea is managed by David and the rest of the team. But in any case, after that, I ask everybody that has a BDC come prepared to discuss how you process your leads and your strengths and your weaknesses. And we've already covered a bit of that for some of you this morning and yesterday. If you do not have a BDC, be prepared to discuss the process you use with your sales team to process and address your leads. So that's the focus. But I want to lead off, and we're going to, as I said, we're going to look at pages 24 and 25. I've also got, besides that, I've printed out I've logged into 3 dealers in this room into Promax, and I've got some comparisons to show between, dealers processing similar numbers of leads, and just the differences between the effectiveness in the stores. And certainly what we want to do is help those stores, especially from Scott, and I will throw in Travis and Cloud as well, that are processing, there's others certainly in there that are processing the leads well into the store. All I care about right now is talking about getting the people from a lead into the store. Some of you, Travis said yesterday, and as a composite shows, some of you have got a lot of work to do once they get in the store, converting them to sales. But getting them into the store, if you've got all these leads, and if you look at the composite, page 24, line 44, the average dealer in the room is processing, working 676 leads a month. That's the average. So certainly we have some on the far left of the page. Scott Cornish 105, Candace last month 60, Con 85, and then we've got 5 on the left side, the right side of the page. But I know of those 5, Ted, Steve Ganser, Scott Lehman, I know those 3 process a ton of leads. So they're not in the small end, they're going to be at average or above. So we've got a lot of leads being worked, and as you'll see down here on line 46, we've got 676 on average coming in to the top of the funnel, and only 159 coming into the store. So my math would tell me that's about 20%, a little bit less than 20%, 18% show rate on average. And before I turn the floor over to Scott Elder, and I'm kind of scrolling through some screens up here right now, and I've got his stats that we pulled up yesterday. If you'll notice, and this is just through yesterday, and it's maybe difficult to read, but he had 739 leads for the month. He contacted 517, which I said was about 72%. Scott said 71.4. My math head was a little off. So he's contacted basically 72%. Most importantly, he's had 322 people in the store out of 739 leads. Basically 42% of the people that he's had a lead from, he's gotten into the store. That is an amazing number. You know, he set 709 appointments. I said, Scott, tell me how you set more appointments than contacts. He said, those are people that have rescheduled. They've had to make more than one appointment to. But you can see the show rate is extremely high. You know, if the percent of appointments shows to appointments is 45%. Well, that's because a lot of these appointments have been rescheduled.
Hey, Greg.
Yes.
Hey, let your gal know she called up and wouldn't let us put that figure higher than the other figure. So there's no way. And I was telling her it's because we rescheduled. She
Right.
wasn't understanding. So we had to make it lower for the 20 group numbers.
So the bottom line, is that you've got 739 at the top of the funnel potential, and you brought in 322 out of that. That's an amazing number. So with that, Scott, we give you the floor, or David, whoever wants to do this. And talk about it.
The truth is, I don't know if our PDC does a whole lot differently than what, a lot of us are what the comment, a lot of us have PDC, a lot of us have for a while, like Ted, Scott, a lot of us in here. I think we're all trying to execute a lot of the same stuff. I can kind of just share with you a little bit about how we handle some of the leads and kind of what we focus on. And talk a little more about this ordinance.
Yeah, because unless you got a VGA, I don't think we do either. Modern computers and hotels don't seem to go well together.
Scott, I know you used to have a squeeze page, then you went away from the squeeze page. And is some of that percentage being driven by the fact that you don't have to go through the junk leads? Everybody that you're getting in as a lead through your webpage is like a real person and serious about what they're doing.
Yeah, so maybe I can kind of talk a little bit about that first. The truth is, I think the reason, one of the main reasons we get a lot more people into the store out of our leads is just that we're generating kind of higher quality leads, and the people that we're creating, the leads that we're generating, I think are a lot more sold on us by what they've seen on the internet, or especially on our website, because most of our leads are going through the website, or at least getting to the website in one way or another. You can just look at it just from our unique visitors. We're running like 27,000 unique visitors a month to the website. So the website's doing a good job of, I think, selling them and wanting to do business with us, which in a sense is making it easier on the BDC. That the BDC doesn't have to do as strong as good of a job of trying to sell the dealership and sell the appointment to the customer. So that's a different kind of strategy, I think, than the squeeze page. The squeeze page is really, I think, putting a lot more of the impetus on the BDC to sell the dealership and sell the appointment. If you take, kind of looking at extreme examples of what we do is, if you pull up our website, we take high quality pictures of all of our cars. So even though we're going after, kind of a subprime customer, write a nice description of it. And then we have some of those higher end, some of those nicer cars, and, you know, the truth is, some of us were discussing yesterday that, you know, not all of these customers aren't coming into us dreaming of a Yaris or a Chevy Spark or something like that. They're more thinking about getting a nicer, higher end car, maybe it's something more loaded up. And so we have a lot of those cars that are in the $15,000 to $20,000 range. And we've got some, in our case, a lot of those cars are priced relatively competitively. They're not out of the ballpark in terms of being marked up, you know, $6,000 where any internet novice could go search in like 5 minutes and realize that your car is overpriced by like, you know, several $1,000s. So we have some of those cars that are competitively priced, although we've got our Yaris's and other cars that are in there with the markup on them. But the reality is a lot of people aren't really looking at those cars.
Got a good job on your mobile page. I went to, because that's obviously we're converting from mobile. The only thing I noticed is that your instant messenger doesn't work on the mobile side.
No, it's not? Okay.
Now on your homepage, it pops up, your girls are trying to contact me right now, whoever you have working for you at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
But on the mobile site, there's no contact.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll take a look at that and check it out. But, I mean, basically, what we do is we put effort into doing this stuff on the website. And, you know, I think we have a good website that gives a lot of good information on a lot of items if the customer wants to go in and kind of dig deeper into it. But, you know, more than anything, what I think we do, I think we have a good executing BDC, but I think we give them good quality leads and a reasonable number of them so that they can convert them. And I think that people are more convertible than, for instance, say like a squeeze page lead where it's somebody who's just, you know, giving you their information and then maybe they've gone to see your inventory and then depending on, you know, what it is, maybe there's pictures of the cars there, maybe there's not, maybe they're not necessarily that desirable of cars, maybe there's no prices on the cars, maybe the prices on the cars are all really high. If the customer is a squeeze page customer, goes through, submits a squeeze page lead, then goes and sees that, then, you know, the BDC is going to have a little bit more of a job to convince them to do business, or convince them that you know you're a dealer that they should come see. Not that it can't be done; it clearly can be done. It's just a matter of kind of numbers and conversions and what that lead really looks like. So I mean, for us, it's been a couple of years. We tried squeeze page. We tried doing squeeze page stuff for a couple of months, probably a couple of years ago. And our lead count doubled. It might have gone up a little bit more than double, if I remember correctly. But at the bottom line, at the end of the day, we didn't get any more showroom traffic in. I think we actually ended up getting less people actually at the store, even though the lead count doubled. Now, you know, if we weren't doing all the things on the internet we are doing as far as merchandising, we probably would have done better with the squeeze page leads. We probably would have gotten more leads. Maybe the BDC would have been able to have converted them higher than we were converting before. But I think it was just in our case, with us doing a good job on merchandising on the website and having a good website with good reasons why to buy from us, we were basically able to get more traffic into the store without the squeeze page and just having higher quality leads. So anyway, that's kind of, you know, my thinking on that. You asked about the squeeze page.
Yes.
Fred is, Sue is, Brad is, Muhammad no, Travis yes. I think there's a saying that I got on the internet or on the radio I heard. Zimmerman, no, Marcio, no. Is that correct? Scott Lehman, yes. Pat, which is Steve Ganger, yes. Ted, yes. Narodowski, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pregnancy squeeze baby.
You know, you were talking about that, I think in our case, I think what happened was we were already a pretty high lead count, and then we doubled our lead count all of a sudden, and so I think we, you know, we lost some efficiency probably because now the DDC got overwhelmed. And probably if I doubled the size of my DDC, you know, overnight, I probably could have got more people in with the squeeze phase, but.
Yeah, I think it's hard to differentiate between, you know, I look at ours, like, for last month, we had 2108 squeeze page release, it's like, how many of those, for your analogy, would have taken the other steps, because you're counting those when they first get on the website, would they have done an online credit app, or did one inquiry, or what stage would they have, you know, been complete, but our perception was, we talked about this last night, and to use you guys as an example, is, you know, kind of the devil's advocate, is BDC, yeah, they get overwhelmed. We went through it with our girls to where they didn't like to call on because the success rate is less, they're harder to deal with. And I can see that in some cases for people that might be the tail wagging the dog in a sense. They don't like, they're, you know, our girls want to rush to our online credit apps because it's a better lead, or they want to do a, you know, specific vehicle. That's the nature of the beast. They don't, you know, they want to use the lower hanging fruit and the higher stuff. So in some cases, it may be that the people in the asylum try to sway your thinking that these aren't good leads when actually they are. I mean, we sell, you know, on a good month, if we sell 125 cars in our store, 70 to 75 of those will for a squeeze page. Start on with that.
Yeah, no, you know, I'm not at all saying that the squeeze page isn't right. I think different markets are different and different dealerships are different. It's all gonna, if you go that route, then you have to probably structure it differently. You might have to have more, you know, you're gonna have more leads, so you kind of need more BDC. You have to have more training, more structure in the BDC in terms of selling that customer on an appointment, how to handle that particular kind of lead, which is a little different than.
I see your analogy too.
than other leads.
Be my perception that your guys' reasoning is that they have more skin or they're more vested because they, you know, they acquire it broke down a little bit harder, more so than just somebody, well, I gotta put my stuff in it to be able to see the cars.
I think a lot has to do with capacity. And to Scott's point, if you had more capacity, you know, your team is saturated with leads, but not overwhelmed. So you get,
Poison.
and so, yeah, and if you need leads, and so and one of the things, and Scott, this is what I'm showing.
Yeah, you can pull up,
Incoming call. Oh, okay, cool, all right, that's what I was trying to figure out. So, if you look at the composite of those that use squeeze page, John Fogg's team actually led the pack in April in converting website leads, which were, in their case, predominantly squeeze page leads. They had 41 in out of 175, we didn't take half percent, 175, and, you know, if you say that's your valid leads, they weren't overwhelmed with capacity. You come over and look at, Sue, for example, had 554 of those same leads, and only got 34 in. So, you know, in that case, the effectiveness of getting them in April, you know, there wasn't a lot of productivity, and that's a lot of, do you have an internal BDC?
We just started.
Did you have it in April?
Yeah,
Okay.
we only have one girl.
Okay, so one girl working 554 leads, plus everything else, is probably brain damage. You got in April you had a capacity issue, and And that's why it winds up like that. So a lot of it is, you know, and I've got Scott's flow chart up here now, and I will try to make it as large as I can.
So I can kind of just go over this. Basically, this is a flow chart that we use in our training and for our process of handling an internal and an incoming phone call. So, you know, the thing we focus on with BDRs is really just gaining control over the call right up front and trying to make sure that they have control over the call versus the customer. So what, you know, typically happens on a call is a customer is going to call in and they're going to start asking questions like, you know, is this car still available? How much is this car? You know, how much down for this car? So what we try to get them to do is try to get them to kind of, you know, maybe briefly, quickly answer the questions or kind of step around them to move on, but basically take control of the call. So, you know, first thing they want to do is ask them if they're calling about our sale. They want to get their name, confirm their telephone number, if they've got a good number there to call them back, in case they get disconnected, find out how they found out about us, and then just basically ask them a question about if they're going to need help with financing, or if they do want help with financing, if they're going to try to establish or reestablish credit. So we try to get them to ask all that, take control of the call, and ask this stuff up front in the call, and get that basic information right then and there. Then typically you can break the call into one of two types of calls. Either it's going to be a credit-based call or it's going to be a vehicle-based call. So if it's a credit-based call, you know, they're going to ask you something like, I just had a bankruptcy, are you going to, you know, do you guys have financing? How much money down on this or that car? You know, if it's a vehicle-based call, they're probably going to ask more like, you know, do you still have the 2011 BMW 335i for sale? You know, or how many BMW 335i's do you have? So we really want the BDR to differentiate at that point in time and
shortly, but we've got a lot of folks that the big challenge is, especially with the squeeze page, just making contact with people. And even those that don't use squeeze pages, the percentage of being contacted is, one of the issues in setting the appointment. So if your BDRs don't reach somebody, or if they reach and you can't set the appointment, or they don't show, what kind of follow-ups do you have, whether it be at phone calls, or work plans, or email groups are you using?
Yeah, I mean, we've got email campaigns that were set, different email campaigns, aggressively going out there to try, if we haven't got in contact with them, we should be getting emails every day, basically continue to try to get in contact with them.
We use Ava also, and that helps us a lot. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Ava.
David, please talk about Ava, because a lot of this group heard me talk about it about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about it since then, so please talk about Ava.
Yeah, when the lead, whether it's a lead that comes in, the dealership or not, Ava is a company that has a customer advocate. Ours is Heather Johnson. She's not a real person, but picks up on the email address in our Promax and then sends an email out asking about how everything went. Why we miss your business? Has anybody contacted you? And then we get immediate response. And that's how we find out if we got a heat case coming, or it's how we find out if we just totally missed the deal. We get details. And I was talking to another guy. I mean, I hate to read them on Sundays when I'm at home because it could ruin my whole day off. Because I get some bad news sometimes when I read her email. So she gets a response, and then it comes to me and Scott, and I think to Andrea, our BDC manager. So it's immediate follow-up is the gist of it all, and alerts us who's hot, who's not, who's pissed, who's happy. So that helps us out a lot.
So are you using Ava at the point of contact, or are you using Ava as a follow-up after BDC?
Both. Yeah, if the lead comes in, there's no contact, we can find out if BDC is slacking on their job, because we'll get an email from Ava saying, with a response from the customer that nobody's contacted me. So then I'll forward that to Andrea, our BDC manager, say, hey, nobody's called her, please call.
Yeah, I think it sends out a short email, basically. The first thing it does when a fresh brand new lead, it sends out a short email saying, is this a good, email address and number to contact you at? And then I think it does some kind of daily automatic follow-ups.
Yeah.
There's no contact. And then after there has been contact, it'll follow up a couple days later and ask if, was everything okay? Did we get you fixed up? And that's the date it's kind of referring to. A lot of times when they get that email a couple days later saying, are you all set? Is everything, so something to affect that. Are you all set up? Is everything good? And then they'll write back and, no, your salesperson sucks. You did this and that or whatever. And then that's when Dave gets pissed off. It's like,
How much is that?
it's $9.95 a month is what we're paying for it. I don't know. They were charging more for it, and they gave us a special deal because we were going to cancel it. And so I don't know what their current price is. Maybe it's cheaper. If it's cheaper, let me know.
But you use that instead of Promax following up. I mean, Promax has a lot of that stuff in there, but I guess
Yeah, but
you can't.
here's the thing about it is with Promax, right? You got to use your own outgoing mail server. So all of us may be using different servers and stuff to deliver our mail through Promax, and so and that's kind of sketchy. I mean, we have email problems. I mean, we're going through using GoDaddy, and we're having deliverability problems and stuff. And the thing is that there's some customers, our emails just aren't getting through
Right.
to, but these Ava emails get through to them. So, and I think it's a fairly substantial percentage. So it's almost worth it from the standpoint of just having another email server that they seem to be monitoring, policing pretty well. It's helping us get more emails actually delivered to the end customer. So.
Do you think, David, that Ava is helping with your voice, human-to-human contact rate?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because I think sometimes if that customer
and our customers aren't, our customers, you know, our non-attender customers aren't used to getting followed up with. You know, usually non-attender, bad credit customer comes to a dealership, needs cash down, salesman never follows up. They're like, they need $3,000. I'm never gonna call them up, they're never gonna get it. And Ava contacts, and you got that human-to-human interaction going, and they're impressed, and they'll come in, they'll come back in just because somebody got in touch with them.
They have work plans to go follow up, but they're not very good.
They suck.
3 weeks to take.
Yeah, well, they call them in 3 weeks. Probably, maybe not 3 weeks. I mean, they have work plans set up, they're just not that
Yeah.
good at work. And we really worked it, we went to this little different structure with the kind of closers / team leaders, and they're getting with their sales team on a daily basis and going over their unsold showroom traffic from the last few days and basically coaching them on the follow-up and kind of helping them with the strategies on what to do to close some of that sold traffic.
We got competition next door. Yes.
Do they communicate to Promax?
Yes, yeah, so it's integrated, so everything that Ava sends out is shown in Promax for that customer, under that customer record. Any responses coming back, is actually inserted in the customer record.
Promax is your, handle all that, is the right, the data.
Yeah, and then,
None of it is integrated with Promax. Where your phone system automatically can call automatically people that, you know, called in and didn't get their call answered.
no, we don't have that. Did Promax just recently add some capability in that?
Auto dial, no. They haven't had it out.
They haven't had any auto dial stuff.
How do you spell that, AVA?
APA, I'll see if I can pull the website up.
It's AVA.ai.
It's a virtual,
We call it artificial intelligence or a virtual BDR.
That's
Right,
kind of thing.
it's AVA.ai.
yeah, AVA,
.ai.
AI.com.
Just AI. It is.
All right. All right. That's AVA.ai. Again, I met him at NADA. Actually, Carlita's the one that steered me to them in I think it was 2011. And it was one of the, because so many smaller dealerships, they were actually, some of their clients are dealerships that I've done work with. And they were doing a very good job. And it just helped tie the contact to the dealership that helped raise the level of contact rate. And ultimately, when you're looking at this, what I had up here a minute ago, this is John Boggs through June, and he's outsourced now. As we were talking yesterday, he's using the same outsourced BDC that Adam is, but it's failing horribly, which is amazing compared to what Adam is doing. He's had 383 leads in, set 17 appointments, and they're not handling the phone ups. And that's, the phone ups and the referrals are coming to the store, so they've only put 13 people into the store out of 383 contacts. But coming up here to Travis McLeod, for the month, and Travis is using Squeeze Pages, and you can see if 972 leads, he's contacting 431, so the big challenge is getting a hold of these Squeeze Page leads. So 594 Squeeze Page leads, 222 contacts, and I know his team, you're trying to contact them 3 times a day to get a hold of them, but it's possible that Ava might help boost that contact rate. But you can see here, Travis has brought in 100 people, so he's and then apply the normal standards. So he's almost at benchmark show rate, you know, based on squeeze page. If you cut that down from 594 to just under 300, he's had 100 show up. So he's batting about 33% of the valid squeeze page leads showing up in the store. And it's through contacting, but if you could raise the contact rate up, I think Ava, David, that's why I asked you that question. If that you think has been important in getting a hold of these people, then that would be invaluable to a lot of folks into raising their appointment rate and theoretically their set rate.
Yeah, I think it helps. I mean, it's hard to measure, but yeah, I think it's a big reason for our success.
Okay, we've got about another 10 minutes to talk about this. Scott, okay, drip campaigns after contact, are you using any kind of ongoing drip campaigns, and how often, what type of things are you promoting?
It's been a while since I've looked at her, we set it up, and read it. She's been doing some modifications to that, but, I mean, if we didn't sell them, I mean, I think we're just kind of dripping them with stuff, or some things about it still in the market.
Are you doing any video mail? Any guy in the room doing video email? Ted and Travis and Mo. Ted, tell everybody what you're doing.
I think we've got 5 or 6. One's a missed appointment, it's just an item shot in our finance office. Maybe 30 to 90 seconds long, and it's just, they're kind of goofy and quirky, it's like, you know, hey, where are you? And I kind of look over the desk, and, you know, sorry we missed you, if we do something wrong. Another one is, you know, a common theme I think that we see in here is, you know, you didn't have what we were looking for, so I think we shot one with a transport truck out front, and you might have got, you know, 30 more cars that just came in, I'm sure we'll have something you'll like, just things like that, so.
And what type of delivery are you using? Because obviously you're not embedding the video in the email or attaching it. How are you getting the email as a co-video, or what product are you using?
I'll say it's a YouTube video.
Okay.
So it's not, you gotta click on, so it's like, hey, Ted just got back from the auction, click here to see, check this out. So you click it, and then it takes you to a YouTube page you can click.
And do you have any click-through, or do you have any delivery information or click-through rates to see what kind of activity you've got there?
You can use on YouTube,
Yeah.
and there's not, I looked at it a couple days ago, there was not, unfortunately, a lot of views on it.
Travis, are you using video?
Yeah, we just started doing that last week. That was part of that presentation.
And how are you presenting that video?
We're embedding it. We're embedding it through email.
Is it an attachment?
Yes.
I'm going to think that attachment's going to have a big delivery problem for a number of reasons. Mo, did you say you're using video?
Yeah, I'm using the same company that I presented with my idea with See It Now. We're doing sales also, which I didn't say much about that, but customers deliver the car, or if the showroom traffic has been gone, we just started doing that, and managers actually getting the camera and saying, hey, thank you for the visit, I appreciate you coming back. You know, whatever they're gonna say, thank them for the visit, for the sale, and for the thing, and I guess it's really no problem. There was a lot of customers coming back, and, you know, and we know that they open it.
So what's the delivery method? Is it embedded?
It's streaming, no, it's ongoing, it's all open.
Okay. Adam, I know you use video because you use all calls.
Yes, we use
So-
video.
Do you know how it's embedded?
Do you know?
It's sent to email. I know that it's not sent to YouTube or anything like that, so I believe it's embedded also.
So it looks like it's just a picture of a frame of the video like a YouTube, and it gives you the arrow to click on it, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it says click here. It has a little, you click the button and the girl opens up and she's talking to you. Hi, how are you doing? This is Jessica from All Call.
So, but you don't have, because they're delivering it, you haven't got any idea of the open rates?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like that's the way that, the best I've seen on that is the picture of the video.
Yeah.
Aware of what, and then they click on the, they really can click anywhere on the picture of the video, and then it opens up another web, brings them to a link on their web page. They can play the video. I don't know what-
I think that's co-video. Yago, you're a master lab. What's the best video delivery method via email?
Well, you can't send a video an email, right? You gotta send a link.
Right? So is it co-video?
Cool, video's good.
I think I have never used one of those systems here. Pretty much all the dealerships that I have, they just put it with YouTube and send a link to the YouTube channel. So that way at least you actually get some SEO audio out of it.
So, again, if you're using videos, all I'm saying is track it and be aware of how you're saying it could impact your ability to open, whether it's in advance of the phone call or after the phone call. Real quickly, before we go further, those that are not using BDCs, let's start with Gareth and John. You've got 302 leads here, of which 221 were third party. Were they worked by your store or were they worked by the Chevy Stores BDC?
Initially by the Chevy Stores BDC.
Initially, explain.
The lead comes into the DMS, the BDC, pick it up, make initial contact, try to set the appointment, the set, and then we'll get handed to the salesperson at the specific store that the appointment is for.
So you have 221 third-party leads, 97 set. So would those all be set by the Chevy Store BDC?
Yeah, and obviously we've, in this last week or two, we've identified that there's probably a few problems with the way that we're doing it. In the fact that when the BDC are making contact, a lot of the time it's stamped with Regalé Chevrolet as opposed to the Fayetteville Automarts, which is obviously very confusing to the customer itself. So what we're about to implement in the next week or so is we're going to start getting one of the BDC individuals and moving them to the store. Start off at one of the stores and then hopefully do get another BDC, which is one of so we've got one at each store. The idea being that every form of communication is going to be stamped from the specific store that they're trying to talk about. Obviously, when the customer comes onto the lot, there's the person that they've been communicating with. So there's, the friendly face rather than being somewhat of a stranger. So a bit more continuity. So we're going to be moving hopefully towards that in the next week, and hopefully that's going to provide us with better results.
Okay, good. Candace, tell us about how you got, you don't show many phone ups. That must be misreported. I mean, eight phone ups and nothing in, but 52 website leads. How are you handling, how is your team, since I know you don't have a BDC, right?
Yeah, one of the things we did in New Orleans was, I went back and took the person that's working our website, for putting photos and inventory on the website, and, routed all incoming sales calls to her, and that's when the message made, was sending a better login system,
get 39 phone ups, and some repeat referrals that might have been calls or might have been walk-ins, but basically 105 leads. How are your salespeople working those leads?
Well, first, I think we're still struggling a little bit with capturing all the information. Accurately. But we enter into a customer link, which is a byproduct of our DMS automation. And then you preset the contact interval, so in there. Let's say, so when they create 5, 6, 7 days, blah, 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 30 minutes.
Are your salespeople trying to set appointments? Are they selling cars? How are they doing it?
Yeah, we don't have anybody on contact other than the sales manager or the salespeople. Kind of a traditional old school way to do it.
I guess what is impressive is that if you look at the website leads, if that's an accurate count, or close to accurate, you had a 32% conversion ratio, sale ratio of web leads. You had 25 people in the store out of 65 leads. I know there's a lot of people in this room that would give their IT to have that percentage or anywhere close to it of their total number of leads. That is Scott Elder's range with his BDC. So what is it? I don't know who, maybe it's Chad or Scott. Who specifically is managing the salespeople? What are you having to do, and what's the key to your success there?
Well, I think with me is,
Speak up, people, Mike.
with me and my salespeople, it's just a concept that we stay on, and all the leads come into my EMS system, and I go to the history tab, and where it shows when I sent the email, what they said, and then I tweak that, maybe to get the, because the ultimate goal is to get the appointment, to fill my appointment. That's all I do.
So the leads come to you. Are you assigning them then?
Yes,
Okay.
I get assigned from there.
So the manager, store manager,
Yes,
takes the lead.
yes,
Lead comes in.
yes.
Are you notified right away?
That the lead is there?
Yeah.
Comes right to my phone. I have 3, there's no way it can get by me.
Okay, what I'm trying to do is just make sure that those of you in the room that don't use BDCs
Right.
understand how it's working for you, because you're doing a great job. So you've got the lead coming in, you're notified the second it comes in, and when it comes in, how are you assigning that lead out?
When me would get put into the DMS, it's tagged with the card that originally are inquiring about. That can change, but,
Yeah.
and along the way, we update the road to the sale. And it's on a revolving.
Round robin?
Yeah, and then that way I know when they're equal, based on their closing percentage, who's struggling every day, I know where they're at. And that's the people I pay the most attention to, because I feel that they can lose business.
Yeah.
So,
Again, just to reiterate, the lead comes in, you're notified of it, you're having to actually put it in DMS.
I do.
When you do, it's a round robin assignment to keep the leads equal among the salespeople.
As soon as I
The salesperson contacts them, tries to set the appointment, and then you go from there. Are you emailing before you call, or are you calling before you email?
well, I want the phone immediately. 'Cause
Okay.
I want them to have some interaction, but, just speaking of his girl yesterday, we spoke of that great length. If that's not available, then obviously we start going through the next steps to make contact, and Steve and I were just talking that, the phone is not conventional anymore. Ideally, that's what you want to have the phone, but the text messaging, you get that, okay, and email now is the conventional way of communicating.
Last thing before we move forward to Yago, texting, show of hands. Who's texting to try and bring people in?
You mean initial text or responding to text or responding to contact?
Well, if you've got a lead, if trying to get them to make contact. Okay, that's good. Because that's, only Garrett is in the no man's land, because if you're, you know, it is very, there is very tight language in the TCPA, and if you're reaching out to them and you do not have, you know, they haven't texted you first or given you express consent to text, you know, that's $500 to $1,500 per text that you send out.
We when we do it through the DMS, and the first thing you do is you create an opt-in. We have to opt in to the.
As long as you've got that. And I was telling Ted yesterday that you all, especially those of you that have squeeze pages, you gotta have the verbiage on the squeeze page above the submit button that allows you to text. If you do, you can text them to your heart's content, and you've got express written permission, and you can archive that easily. So, you know, text is a good way to reach out, but you can really run afoul of the law if you're texting and you haven't got express consent.